Hey, thanks for stopping.
Where you headed?
Wherever you are.
Hop in.
We are talking the movie Deadly Pickup, written and directed by Dean McKendrick. Now, let me start by saying this. With most kind of low-budget movies, kind of like what I watch, I don't tend to kind of read a lot up on them before I watch them. I just tend to watch them, and then afterwards I might do a review, do a bit of research on it, etc. So this one, I started watching it, and it essentially is a kind of the story of a female hitchhiker who, you know, is travelling from one place to another. She kind of picks up men, has sex with them, and then kills them. And she does this by injecting them with the poison that's kind of on her ring. So it's kind of like a Black Widow kind of situation here. And she ends up getting a kind of hold up in this kind of rents a room for this couple in this house, and starts basically going on a bit of a killing spree around this kind of local area. And she's kind of being pursued by the kind of the local police, and they're kind of closing with their investigation. Such a basic story here. So I was watching this movie, and we have our kind of our first victim, and it's preceded by this sex scene. So you know, it starts probably expect this kind of thing on a kind of low budget B movie, but the sex scene's going on and on and on. And I'm thinking, man, this sex scene's going on for a hell of a long time, and it's pretty graphic, to be quite honest. All right, fair enough, you know. Next scene, basically, we get an extended scene with her in the shower masturbating, thinking, and again, it's going on for ages. And I would say 50% of the running time of this movie is sex scenes. So I had a look afterwards about the kind of the cast stuff, and to my not surprised, pretty much the majority of the principal cast here are porn actors. So this is basically a porn film without the hardcore element in there, but it's probably as close as you can get to it without really being a hardcore. I actually think this is probably a genuine porn film that has just been cut and slightly kind of re-edited to be a feature kind of B movie, basically. It's so funny. I mean, there is like you know, a good, I don't know, five, six sex scenes in this. Each of them is kind of like an extended scene as well. We have a lesbian scene. We have our kind of our main character Breezy, played by Carter Cruz, basically shagged nearly this whole town. But we have the kind of the wife played by Kira Noir and her husband. They have an extended sex scene. There's just loads of sex scenes in this, so it's actually kind of thing. There's lots of kind of female nudity here, lots of, you know, and you see pretty much everything, if you get what I'm saying. So if that's your thing, tinged with a little bit of a kind of serial killer element, then you may want to check this film out. But there's not a lot else to it other than that, to be quite honest. There's so much of the running time is just the sex, basically. Doesn't leave much room for anything else. And we do have our kind of our non-sex things. Yeah, I mean, the acting's a little bit ropey, you'd probably expect from kind of porn actors, to be brutally honest. But to be honest, the actual conceit here I found quite interesting initially. It was like, oh yeah, you know, female serial killer, don't tend to see many of those, and it's kind of like an interesting setup where she's, you know, poison generally is a kind of the weapon of choice for female serial killers. So, you know, it was kind of a good idea, but there's just not a lot to this film. I mean, it's quite well shot. All of the actors are kind of super kind of like good looking. You know, every single guy in this movie is kind of like proper buffed up and everything, and all the girls are all hot and everything. So it's very much like the porn industry, I suppose. The plot is quite slight. The killer has no motivation, as far as I can tell. So you don't really know why she's doing this. I mean, we get told a little bit in exposition about backstory and stuff, but it's kind of, oh, I don't really know why she's doing it. To be honest, it's never really kind of touched upon, other than she's getting a thrill from it. But even that's never really explicitly said. So yeah, if you kind of like a bit of TNA and lots of sex scenes, lots of kind of attractive women, you're going to find it in this film. Just don't expect a particularly complex storyline. Don't be expecting lots of kind of like twists and turns. The storyline's very basic. The acting's kind of, you know, porn acting. Let's just say it. So there you go. But it's, you know, it wasn't a bad story or anything like that. But just not a lot to it. And obviously attractive cast, but technically I think it was probably quite well done. You know, everything with the lighting, the camera work. I mean, these are, I'm guessing they're experienced filmmakers in the porn trade, but there you go. So I'll give it a 4 out of 10. You might like it. If you kind of want a bit of TNA and your serial killers, check it out. 4 out of 10. So let me know if you've seen it. Bye for now.